Every morning feels the same, like a script I've memorized too well. The alarm rings at 5:30 a.m., but I'm usually awake before it even has the chance to sound. The house is quiet, too quiet, except for the occasional creak of the old wooden fan overhead, spinning lazily against the still air. I lie there for a moment, staring at the cracks in the ceiling, tracing the patterns with my eyes, like I've done 100 times before. This ceiling knows all my secrets. The ceiling knows I don't want this life, but it can't tell anyone, and neither can I. I slide out of bed, careful not to make too much noise. Amma is a light sleeper, and if she hears me awake before her, she'll fuss about me doing too much. Girls shouldn't take so much stress. It'll worry your father. As if my stress has a direct line to Papa's blood pressure. I move to the kitchen, the cold floor sending a shiver up my spine. The small window above the sink shows the first hint of dawn, the sky painted in soft strokes of purple and orange. For a second, I let myself imagine standing in a different kitchen, somewhere far from this town, maybe in Delhi or even Mumbai, where the only person I have to answer to is myself. But the sound of Amma stirring in her room pulls me back. Dreams are dangerous here. They have sharp edges. By the time Amma joins me, I've already started making the morning tea. She doesn't say much, just gives me a tired smile before beginning her own routine. I watch her for a moment, the way her hands move with practiced efficiency, how her face carries the weight of years spent in silent obedience. Sometimes I wonder if she ever had dreams like mine. Probably. But dreams don't last long in houses like ours. By 7:30, I'm dressed and ready to leave for work. I teach English at St. Mary's School, the only English medium school in our small town. It's not much, but it's something. I wear the same kind of clothes every day. Simple salwar camis, nothing too bright, nothing that would draw attention. Amma insists on this. Log kaya kahanj. Asha, what will people say? That question is a constant soundtrack in my life. What will people say if I wear this? If I speak too loudly? If I laugh in public? I step outside, locking the door behind me, and the fear settles in my chest like a familiar friend. The road to the school isn't long, but every step feels heavy. I can feel the eyes on me, old men sitting outside their homes, their gazes lingering too long, young boys with idle hands and sharper tongues, whispering things they think I can't hear. But I hear everything. I feel everything. I keep my eyes down, clutching my bag tightly, as if it's a shield. But no bag can protect you from the weight of constant judgment, from the fear of something going wrong. Every day, I wonder if today will be the day someone crosses a line. I walk faster, my heart pounding in rhythm with my footsteps. When I finally reach the school gates, I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Inside these walls, I feel a little safer. But even here, the walls have ears. At school, I'm Miss Sharma, the polite, soft-spoken English teacher who doesn't make trouble. I teach my lessons, correct papers, and smile when the principal walks by. I avoid unnecessary conversations with male colleagues because even a harmless chat can become gossip by evening. But there's Priya. She's different. She teaches science and doesn't seem to care what people think. Sometimes I envy her boldness, the way she laughs loudly in the staff room, the way she speaks her mind. But Priya has her own battles. She once told me her family disowned her for refusing an arranged marriage. She lives alone now, and while that sounds terrifying, it also sounds free. Asha, you're too quiet, Priya says one afternoon as we sit in the staff room. Quiet is safe, I reply, forcing a smile. But is it? I wonder. Is this silence really keeping me safe, or is it just another cage? It happened on a Tuesday. I remember because I was wearing my blue salwar camis, the one Emma says brings out the color of my eyes. I was walking home, the usual route, when I felt it, a presence too close behind me. I quickened my pace, my heart thudding painfully in my chest, but the footsteps followed. Madam, ek minute ruko na. Madam, wait a minute. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. But he grabbed my arm, hard. I don't remember screaming, but I must have. The next thing I knew, there were people around, shouting, pulling him away. My mind was a blur of fear and anger. Someone called the police. For once, the police arrived quickly. They took him away, and for a brief, fleeting moment, I felt victorious. I stood up for myself. I wasn't just silent, but that feeling didn't last. When I got home and told Amma and Papa what had happened, they didn't hug me or tell me I was brave. They didn't even ask if I was okay. Instead, Amma's face went pale, and Papa's eyes filled with something I can only describe as shame. Tumni police ko kayan bulaya. Why did you call the police? Log kaya kahenj. What will people say? That night, I cried quietly into my pillow, wondering how defending myself had turned into something to be ashamed of. After the incident, Papa insisted I quit my job. Tumhari is at si badkar kuch nahai. He said, nothing is more important than your honor. But whose honor was he talking about? Mine or his? I pretended to agree, nodding along while my heart screamed inside my chest. But I couldn't let this be my life. I couldn't let fear win. So I made a plan. I found a scholarship program for a teaching course in Delhi. Late at night, when everyone was asleep, I filled out the application form, hiding the papers beneath my mattress during the day. Priya helped me prepare for the entrance test, sneaking me study materials and encouraging me when I felt like giving up. For weeks, I lived a double life, obedient daughter by day, secret dreamer by night. But the fear never left. Every knock on the door made my heart race. Every glance from Amma felt like she could see right through me. Then the letter came. I had been accepted, a full scholarship, a chance at the life I always wanted. But before I could tell them, Amma found the letter. The confrontation was worse than I imagined. Papa shouted, Amma cried, and I stood there, feeling like a traitor in my own home. Asha, what are you doing? Aren't you ashamed? But I wasn't ashamed. I was tired. Tired of living a life that wasn't mine. Papa, I want to do this. His eyes hardened. If you go, don't come back. That night, I packed my bags. Delhi was overwhelming. The noise, the crowds, the freedom. It was all too much at first, but slowly I found my footing. I rented a small room, started my classes, and for the first time, I felt like I was living. Really living. I missed my parents, of course. I wrote them letters, telling them about my days, my classes, my dreams. They never replied, but I kept writing. Maybe one day they'll understand. Some nights, when the city is quiet, I think about that ceiling back home, the one that knew all my secrets. I wonder if it misses me too. But I don't miss the silence. Not anymore. Because now my life is loud. It's messy and complicated and terrifying. But it's mine. And that's all I ever wanted.